What's up, everybody? It's Dom Heck from Wisdom Cast. Today we have an amazingly talented guest, Salvatore Spinelli. Sal is a father, husband, musician, songwriter, vocal coach, and he participates in a variety of different mixed martial arts. Most recently, Sal has been vocal coaching, songwriting, and touring with America's Got Talent Season 14 winner Kodi Lee. Sal also tours with his own band named Midnight Satellites. Sal is signed with Down Boys Records, where they use his music for advertisement and television, film, for things such as international commercials for Chili's restaurants, Ride with Norman Reedus, Hollywood Medium, and the Wahlburgers. Today's podcast, we're going to begin a little differently. Sal and I thought it would be a cool idea to start off with a song. Sal will be performing his original song, Sunday. It's my honor to present Salvatore Spinelli.
The sun is burning my skin again. The sound is hurting my ears to be. Still I try. I can't lie to you. Good Lord, I'll stay with you. I'll stay. I will stay with you. My eyes are telling a story in my head. The truth so compelling, but silence is all I've said. Still I try, but I can't lie to you. Good Lord, stay with you. I'll stay with you. Ooh, yeah. I'll take you home. Yeah,
wow. That was beautiful, man. That was beautiful.
How'd it sound? Was it overdriving at all? You good?
No, I messed with the levels a little bit, so hopefully it came out well, but it sounded great in my ears, man.
Thanks. Right on.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff.
Thank you, sir.
Can people find that song on Spotify or anything right now, or where can they find that?
Yeah, you can go to Spotify. Just look up Salvatore Spinelli, and you can go to my website, salvatorespinelli.com, and my links to my Spotify and YouTube and all that are up there. So
Cool. That's
yeah.
awesome, man. The song was Sunday. Check that one out for sure. That was awesome.
Hey.
Awesome. How old were you when you started playing music, by the way?
Ah, man, I was about 12, I guess. I got my first guitar.
Nice.
Yeah.
How many instruments can you play? Because I've seen you on the
Oh.
keyboard a couple times, seen you on the guitar. What else do you play?
Well, I mean, guitar is my main thing, my main instrument, and I play piano just enough to know how to like write a song and do a bunch of vocal exercises and just like sound check a piano every once in a while,
Yep.
A little bit of drums, enough just to create some beats for an idea. Every guitar player can play drums as soon as the drummer gets up off the throne. The guitar player is the first one on the.
Yeah, I grew up in a. My brother's a musician. He's a drummer for a progressive metal band.
Nice.
So I wasn't blessed with any musical skills myself, but I've been around, bands my whole life, going to concerts and shows, chilling backstage. So it's always good to hang out with the musical people. It's a good time.
For sure, man. Yeah, I mean, that's really it. I play bass just as much as I play guitar, and
Nice.
that's about it. I mean, I've messed around with cellos and things like that, but
So I know you're a vocal coach. Are you also a guitar teacher too?
I do. I'm mostly a vocal coach as far as the teaching goes.
Yeah.
But I do also do guitar playing and some guitar theory and learning how to teach people how to sing and play at the same time.
Nice. You were ripping there, man. I loved it.
Thanks.
So I gotta ask. This is a dumb question, but you're Italian, I'm guessing, right?
Yeah,
Salvatore
as much as I can be, not from Italy.
Yeah, right. Yep, I got the Dominic, so that's my giveaway. Because I saw you post something the other day about the Andrea Bocelli concert, and that's my mom's favorite singer, so she was like so stoked that was happening on Easter.
Yeah, my wife told me about it, and she's like, "Do you know Bocelli's playing on YouTube?" I'm like, "No, when?"
Yeah,
She's like, "Oh, it's going to be on Easter. He's doing it, live stream." I'm like, "All right, well, I guess that's what we're doing for Easter."
Good stuff.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Yeah, and I know I mentioned you. I wanted to tell you kind of how I came across you, because I'm sure you're like, who's this random guy adding me on Facebook right now? What's going on here?
So you had a good name, so I'm like, all right, I'll add him.
Deal. Yeah, so originally, America's Got Talent came out, right? My mom and I had watched the first episode where they had Kodi Lee, and I was just like, dang, like just like everyone else, like that episode was just like intense. Like I've watched all those musical shows before and stuff, and like there's always good acts, don't get me wrong, but like his performance was just like something different. And then ended up just continuing watching Kodi Lee, and then I was just like, man, I need more Kodi Lee in my life. And so then I started going down the YouTube rabbit hole, and then I came across the mashup that you and him did with In My Blood and Sign of the Times. Oh man, if anyone hasn't checked that out, you gotta check that out. It's the mashup In My Blood, Sign of the Times, Sal Spinelli, Kodi Lee. Then I was like, okay, who are these Midnight Satellite guys, And then I started going and watching a bunch of your guys' live performances you guys did. And it was actually funny. Me, my brothers, and my dad, two of my brothers and my dad, we went to Europe. And the night before we went to Europe was Kodi's final performance. And so they saw that final performance, and they all fell in love with him too. And so our trip we did was we flew into Rome, and then we did a kind of whoop up into like Austria, Germany, and then back around to Italy again. And so we were driving the whole time, and it was about 5-6 hour drives the whole time. And our whole thing was every time we went into a new country, we would put on one of your guys' shows. We'd start out with the America's Got Talent performances, then we'd move into the mashup, and then we'd move into the live shows, and we had the phone set up at the front of the car, and we were just rocking out to you guys, driving through the Switzerland mountains, Italy, Germany, Oktoberfest, the whole thing. It was,
dude, so you're the one that's putting all the views on those videos. Thank you.
Those international views are coming from us for sure. We got domestic views in California, and then we were over there, we got some international views too.
That's awesome.
Yep. But big fan, man. You're super talented, and just in the short time that we've kind of talked, and I've been following you on Facebook and stuff. You seem like a really cool dude, and much respect to you, man. I got to say that.
Thank you.
Yeah. So the way I've been kind of doing this is what I really like to do is kind of go through people's photos and just kind of let them talk about things that they've done in their lives. You know, photos tell a lot of stories. You're a talented dude, so I just kind of pulled up a couple photos I found of you online, just doing some searches. And if you can kind of just touch on them and kind of tell us about, you know, the experiences that were going on during this time and about your life, and just tell people about you and who you are, and then hopefully they can check out your music and become a fan just like I am.
Cool, man. All right, well, that picture right there. So that's at the place in which I teach. It's called Riffs Music in Murrieta, California, and I think I was recording. Let me see. I think that was a picture. I was recording one of my friends. His name is Reese Morin, and we were just kind of going over like some songwriting and recording techniques with voice. And Reese is a great kid. I mean, he came to us as a bass player a long time ago and got into Berklee School of Music. And then he was like, "Yeah, I don't want to do Berklee anymore." He moved up to LA from Boston all the way to LA and all over the place. Now he's in San Diego. Great kid, great bass player. But yeah, that was us recording. And
that's Berklee School of Music in Boston, not to be confused with Berklee here in the Bay Area, right? Am I right on that?
He got it. His dream was to get accepted to Berklee in Boston. Yeah. So, you know, we did as much music prep education for him as possible. And he got in, and then he's like, "Yeah, you know what? Not for me." And they moved back. But
happens.
I think that was a session with Reese.
Nice, yeah. That's awesome. So, do you do, with all the coronavirus stuff going on? I got to kind of ask, how have your lessons been? Have you been able to convert everything to online classes with your students? Have you been able to kind of do that, or how are things been for you dealing with this whole pandemic going on?
You know, a lot of students have moved on to the Skype lesson thing, or Zoom, or, you know, FaceTime, whatever. And it's a little bit new for me, but I think for both myself and the students, it's been quite a comfortable transition, you know?
Yeah.
And, you know, I picked up a few different students, just people looking to do something during their day, you know, and for the most part, it's been okay, but understandably, a lot of people, you know, everybody either their job is slowed down or they lost work, so it's really hard pulling together funds to pay to anything, you know. So, I mean, I'm trying my best to do giveaways when I can, and just like, hey man, if you can't pay for a lesson, I don't care. Let's just play some music online, like take care of it later, like, yeah. So
yeah, that's awesome.
So,
yeah, I do acting classes myself, and obviously it's better in person, but we've had to convert to kind of the Zoom video conference sessions. And I was out of work for a little bit too. I recently got a new job last week, thank God, but the coronavirus is kind of ruffling a lot of people's feathers, but, you know, people are just adapting the new ways. So I'm glad to hear that you're still be able to give your lessons to your students.
Thank you, man. You know, and the big thing, I think that I'm personally, well, I speak for myself, and I know a couple of close friends of mine who are teachers, and you know, the bass player in Midnight Satellites owns the Riffs Music in which we teach at, and the other guitar player, Jason, he also teaches at Riffs, and I think right now we're learning how to use this as an opportunity to see when everything goes back to, you know, somewhat normal.
Yep.
How to take this experience and make it work for the daily life in general, you know, just to make business better for everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's a lot of new ideas that are going to come out of this. You know, there is a lot of negative things, but there will be some positive things that hopefully come from this too, in terms of just how people go about their daily lives, how people operate in business, et cetera, et cetera.
Absolutely.
But yeah, and then I know just from our short times talking, I could tell right away you're a family man. So
yeah,
you know, I got to start with family first here. Tell me about this. Tell me about your wife. Tell me about your kid. How is it being a father?
Being a father, I would say, changed everything in my life for the better. You know,
nice.
I don't want to say I never wanted kids because I think in the back of my head I've always wanted, to be a dad. But until you actually have that child, you don't realize what that emotion and that feeling is like, that connection. And do you have any kids yourself or no?
Nope, not me, not me,
Okay,
not yet.
okay. It's one of those things where people used to tell me, yeah, man, life's going to change once you have a kid. And I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, of course it is. Like responsibilities are going to get different and change my behavior. Of course it's going to get different, right?
Yep.
But you can't explain the difference until it actually happens. So having a kid is great. It's my son Leo there. I think that was his 1 year old. We were taking Christmas pictures, and
I love the bow tie. I love the bow tie. I gotta say.
yeah, we dressed him up. My wife Lauren, she's awesome. She's just all around awesome. A big traveler and outdoors girl, and foodie and crafts, arts and crafts. So she's really good. She's the capital A in our relationship, and I'm the capital B.
The alpha and the beta. Is that what you're saying here?
Oh yeah, I mean I'm not afraid to admit it. It's cool.
It's cool. It's cool. Awesome, man. Awesome. But yeah, one of the other things I kind of saw in your profiles too is you're definitely in the mixed arts, similar to me. I've done some jiu-jitsu training. Most of my martial arts training is in stand-up, like
Nice.
kickboxing, boxing, that stuff. But then I
Right.
trained at a school here called Tactica
Mhm.
with my teacher Flavio Meyer, a great guy.
Nice.
I see you're a brown belt though. That means
Yeah.
you've been at this for a while. Kind of tell me your experiences with jiu-jitsu. Tell me about a couple of these guys here, your friends, the guys you train with. I'm sure you see them all the time and
Yeah.
miss touching each other during these times and strangling each other. But tell me about your
Absolutely.
jiu-jitsu experiences.
Yeah, man. I never thought I'd miss the guy's sweaty face in my face as much as I do now. You know? But yeah, dude, like my martial arts experience, my journey in martial arts started. I was probably 15 or 16.
Yeah,
I started in some Chinese boxing arts, and
nice.
moved out here. A lot of stand up, a lot of like kung fu and JKD and Wing Chun stuff like that. And when I came out here, I continued with it, but a teacher I had at the time passed away suddenly, and
Oh, geez.
I didn't. He died in a canoeing accident, and I was supposed to go on that. I was supposed to go on the trip with him, and he ended up drowning, and it was terrible.
Oh,
Yeah, it was bad. It was a bad scene. It was in 2000. I don't know, 2002 or three. I can't remember. But
that's wild.
yeah. But anyway, so after that, I'm like, I'm gonna search out another school. And I've always wanted to do jujitsu, you know. So I got a flyer on my car, and it was this dude, and I was like, oh, he does Muay Thai and he does jujitsu and MMA, and he looks like he's badass. Let me look him up. So anyway, his name was Chris Brennan, and
Yeah.
he had fought in Pride and UFC and a lot of other organizations, but
Nice.
tried it out and I loved it, and it was mostly no-gi.
Nice.
And, I had only done it with Chris, maybe a year and a half on and off, and I had never graduated any belts with him or anything. It was just really, really cool experience. And I say that because he had moved schools and moved to Texas, and I didn't know where else I was going to train,
Yeah.
So, but interestingly enough, this picture right here. So the guy, second, well, the second, I'm like pointing like you could see the screen.
I got my arrow. I got my arrow.
So not him, but the black one, right? Okay, right.
Wait, this one?
So that his name is Orlando. Yeah. So Orlando, great friend of mine now. He actually started at the same time as I did back at Chris Brennan's school,
Nice.
and we had lost touch. And he actually grew up in Florida, where I grew up, and his sister went to high school in my high. Really, really small world type stuff. But anyway. Some years had gone by, and I was walking in, like, I think a Trader Joe's parking lot,
Yeah.
and I hear this dude. He's like, Sal. I was like, what? yeah, and it was Orlando, and like, hey man, are you still training in jiu-jitsu? And I'm like, no, I stopped for a while. I don't know where else to go. He's like, dude, come down to this place, Carlson Gracie. I'm managing it right now. I've been there for a while. They're great people. I'm like, perfect. So
awesome.
I started there. So those guys in the picture, awesome guys. So the guy you just circled his head, not him right there. That's Orlando.
Yep.
Great friend of mine. He owns Carlson Gracie in Menifee. So the person, all right, we'll start all the way to the left.
Okay, right over here.
So that's Sean Ruiz. Sean is an incredible grappler. He is also the jiu-jitsu coach. He has a Carlson Gracie jiu-jitsu up in Riverside, but amazing jiu-jitsu guy and just all-around fighter. He's a coach to Roosevelt Roberts and Jalen Turner, who rising in the UFC right now, like super good technicians. And so he's their main coach.
That's awesome.
The guy next to him is me.
Hey, Sal.
Hey, over there. And this was the day I actually got my brown belt.
This is it, huh? That's awesome.
Yeah, that was August something, 2016.
I can see by that smile on your face you just got your brown belt. That's a happy man right there.
Yeah. So right next to me, that's Carlson Gracie Jr. And he's just a legend. His father, Carlson Gracie. Unfortunately, I didn't get to meet or train with him. He had passed away before I got that opportunity. Yeah. But the Carlson Gracie Jr. came. He comes out every once in a while and trains. But my main instructor, one of my two main instructors, Tina Martinez, is not in the picture. Oh. But the other guy, all the way to the other side, that's Tom Cronin. And Professor Tom he's just, I don't know, he's an anomaly. Like, he's like, yeah, I'm going to do this. And he does it.
He looks like the guy that's got those long legs, long arms, and he can just tie you up any way he wants to.
He really does. And he's super calm about it, super technical, really. He's a really good friend of mine, really good guy, amazing jiu-jitsu practitioner. Great story about him. He's done a lot of tournaments. He's got gold medals, all over the place. Really good tournament guy and an all-around fighter. He's been at, Roosevelt and Jalen's tournaments or fights in the UFC as well, I believe. But anyway, he's like the pinnacle of somebody that's in shape. Yeah. And every time he gets injured, like for example, Tom is the guy who it's like, oh man, I can't sleep. It's 2:00 in the morning. Let's go on Facebook. Oh, Tom checked in at EOS Fitness. What is he doing?
He's getting that workout in,
Get in, dude. He's and so anyway, so Tom, he blew out his knee. And he was doing something. I think he was preparing for like a Fight to Win promotion or something. And I had a big match. It was like in a month or two from this time, he had completely blown out his knee. He wasn't going to be able to fight, and he ended up getting stem cell therapy. Oh yeah, like in his knee, and instead of having surgery. And I think it was like in 3 weeks he was squatting again, and by 4 or 5 weeks later he fought and won in his fight.
How soon after did he fight?
I think it was like a month after, maybe 2 months if I'm.
So that stem cell stuff Joe Rogan's talking about is real then, huh? It works.
He had it done. I had dislocated my knee. And it screwed up for a while. And so Tom sent me to this place. It's called Joy Wellness Partners. Yeah. And they're in San Diego. They have Dr. Tierney is also in Murrieta. But anyway, they did something on my knee. They did an ultrasound. And, I had a hamstring injury that didn't heal properly. And I had debris floating around in my knee. And something happened. But anyway, I didn't do stem cell, but I did the PRP thing, the platelet-rich plasma or whatever it is. They took my own blood, spun it really quick, and injected it into my knee, and
that got you going.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you can't put it in your knee and then all of a sudden you're Superman. But
you had to condition it a little.
Yeah, you got to keep up with it. You got to keep up with it. But it works. It's really good. I've had good success with it too. But yeah, those are great guys. So anyway, yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And then I had to pull this picture up here. I read a little funny caption that you had written with this, so I thought I'd kind of let you maybe tell the story. Sorry to embarrass you, but
Okay, so I know the caption. You don't even have to say it. Okay, so that's Orlando again, and so we were doing doing triangle escapes, right? So the one guy applies a triangle.
Yep.
It has to keep you in it, and you have to survive or escape, right?
Yep.
And I was like, all right, dude, let's go. It's always intimidating and daunting when you have to drill with black belts, but
yeah,
it's good for you. You just say like, you know what, this is going to be better for me. I'm going to do it.
Yep.
So I remember I was in it, and I was like, dude, I got this. I'm surviving, and I remember I heard Rage Against the Machine was on the PA at the time, or the radio.
Uh-oh, you started listening to the music, huh?
I was listening to the music. I'm like, I got this. And then all of a sudden, I was like waking up, and I'm like looking around, and I felt like the blood rushing back to my head. And I hear like another Rage Against the Machine song playing, so I know some time had elapsed.
Wait, this is the next track.
Right.
What's going on? This is 2 tracks later.
And I just look over, and it's Orlando and Tom and my other professor Tino, and they're all like sitting, and they're circled, like kind of like looking at me like, huh? Yeah. That was the first time I'd ever been like put to sleep like that.
Yep.
And it sounds a little morbid.
Yeah.
But I'm like, if that's how dying is.
Yeah.
Okay. Like I didn't feel anything.
That bad.
I didn't feel anything. I didn't even know what happened.
Yep. That blood rushes to the head, and it happens pretty quick.
I had gotten knocked out before.
Yeah.
Way back at Chris Brennan's place. I think we were sparring. We were kickboxing, and I think we were just messing around. And I fight right forward. I fight unorthodox.
You fight right foot forward, is that what you said?
Yeah, right foot forward.
Yep.
And I was goofing off with this other guy who's an amazing jiu-jitsu champion now from Atos under Andre Galvao. His name is Josh Hinger. And he was there. He was always a stud, always a star. And I think he's orthodox, and I'm there, and I'm like forward. My left hand was down, and I just caught a shin across my head, and boom, like that knocked me out for a few seconds, dude. That one was painful.
Little shin to skull. Yeah. Getting kicked in the head's a little different than getting choked out for sure.
Yeah, everybody likes to fight till they get hit in the head.
Yep. As the great Mike Tyson once said.
Yeah. So yeah, that's my stories about getting knocked out. But yeah, that's that picture.
Sorry I had to do that to you, but it had a funny caption. I was like, I'm pulling that up. I'm sure you'll enjoy it a little bit.
It's all right, man. It's all part of it comes with the territory.
Exactly. But then, yeah, I wanted to jump into your band, Midnight Satellites, and obviously Kodi Lee, too. If you can maybe tell me about each of the band members, what each instrument they play, and how the group formed, and how long you guys been playing together, all those types of things.
Cool. So, so we've been playing together. I was in the band with some other friends of mine. It actually started with 3 other guys as another band, and we were just like a cover band, and we went under a few different names. But I ended up playing with the drummer. I'm pointing at this like you could see me.
Yeah, I got you on the arrow again.
Yeah, I ended up playing with the guy with the long blonde hair.
Long blonde hair is the drummer.
Yeah, that's Nick. I've played with Nick the longest. I played with Nick probably going on 7 or 8 years, maybe 9 years. Holy cow. A long time I played with Nick. And we've done a lot of stuff, made a nice record together, and he made his own record, and I was on it with him on some stuff. But that's Nick. He's a new father also. He's got a great studio. You can go to nicksywert.com. That's his website. Or Soundtown Records, actually.
Soundtownrecords.com,
yeah. So that's Nick. His cousin is Todd Zuckerman, the drummer for Styx.
Oh, and, nice.
He's got so many cool stories and so many different techniques he's taken from Todd. It's just cool to watch him. And his dad was an engineer. His dad is no longer with us, but his dad was a great engineer, and so owns his recording studio. Took all that stuff, that experience from his dad, and then his drumming partly is with his cousin Todd. They're super talented family. So that's Nick.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to tell my brother to check him out too. Like I said, he's the drummer, so he's always down to check out new guys for sure.
Right on, man. And then the guy with the glasses, that's Rex. He's our bass player. He actually owns the music school that we teach at.
Nice.
He owns Riffs, and great dude, man. Like, great bass player, super quirky,
As most bass players are.
Yeah, super quirky. If I'm talking conspiracy theories, it's with him. We're talking like anything Area 51, like anything alien. He's the guy I'm talking to. But he's a great dude. The other, obviously, Kodi. Yep. Kodi Lee is there, and Cody's just a light in everybody's life. He's just a brilliant human being. Great family. Just great. We'll talk about Kodi in a little bit, but
definitely
behind myself and Kodi is Jason. Jason, I've known for a long time as well. He's been another guitar player that teaches at the school, and I've always loved the way he plays guitar, and like I kind of like listen in and try to steal his licks.
Then you're like, we might as well join a band together because we're stealing each other's songs.
Yeah, like the other guitar player that played with us, Brennan. I played with him for a long time, and once Brennan had left the band and done some other stuff in his life, I'm like, oh sweet, like we got to bring in Jason,
Yeah.
And Nick didn't know Jason, but I'm like, Nick, trust me, dude. Like
trust me on this one.
This dude's a great guitar player. He's great attitude, everything. Great songwriter. He was actually in a band called AM Radio, and they had done a lot of stuff. Rivers Cuomo from Weezer kind of like took them in and kind of like helped them make their sound and whatnot. Hold on, I'm gonna plug in my computer.
Yeah, no problem.
But Jason's a great songwriter, and yeah, that's the band.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm hoping one day I can come check you guys out. I mean, obviously things are weird right now, so I'm sure you don't have a tour planned or anything, but hopefully after this is all done, you guys can play some shows. Head up to NorCal, man. I'll roll out for sure. I'll bring out some people too.
Love Northern California, so hopefully we'll be there.
Awesome. And then, jumping right into it, of course, we're going to talk about the great Kodi Lee. I had to steal this picture, obviously, because this is the one from the mashup song that I first learned about you. And so what was going in your head as you guys were – because obviously you guys had performed this song before you did this video. Like, in your head, were you like, wow, this sounds sick? Like what? Like, did you know it was going to be as good as it sounds right now?
All right. Here's the thing with Kodi.
Yeah.
So Kodi would come in, like Cody's been coming in. I've been working with him maybe 7 years. And, he could listen to a song and then play the song. Wow. Right?
Yeah.
So, Kodi can do that extremely well, like, you could show him a song, and if it's a moderately complex song, the pop song or something, play it for him once and he'll play you the whole thing nearly note for note, nearly word for word, melodies, everything. So, excuse me. We were doing these videos trying to get him out there. You know, we're like, how do we get Kodi out there? This is before America's Got Talent.
Yeah.
Which I'll tell you, timing is everything, and like things are meant to happen when they're meant to happen. Kodi had tried out for America's Got Talent 2 years in a row before the year he actually got on.
Really? I did not know that. That's crazy.
And, you know, for whatever reasons, it just wasn't the right time. He's always been amazing, but for whatever reason, it wasn't working out, right?
Happens, yep.
Tried to get him on the Ellen show and almost happened, but didn't work out. And, you know, tried to get him on all the talk shows. Didn't work out. So we decided to make some videos. Let's make videos and just put them out there and just see if people just catch on. And they started catching on. So we wanted to do something different. He loves Shawn Mendes. He loves Harry Styles. So I forget who it was. I forget where it was, but somebody had made a crude mashup similar to this.
I heard it.
I had heard it, and I'm like, Kodi, let's turn this into a song, right?
Yeah.
Let's turn this into something we could do. So that day,
the same day that you heard the mashup or suggested it,
the same day, I mean, it was like I think it was like a 2-hour session. The same day, showed him what we were going to do. We played through it a couple times, and then we just set up the camera and the lights and just let's see what happens. And that was crazy. It. That was the take. I mean, I messed up a couple times on the guitar, and you know, you'll see it if you really study it. But
I'll leave that to the musical people. To me, it sounded perfect. So.
I was just there to I don't know. It just blows me away. Sometimes I just throw things at Kodi just to satisfy my own interest. I'm like, I wonder if he could do this.
Yeah.
And he does every time. He just does it. So this was
awesome.
I was really proud of him doing this because again, he could do things very, very well when it comes to at least at this point when it comes to listening to a song and then playing it note for note. But over time, we wanted to develop his ability to create and to do stuff from scratch, right? And start writing and doing things that weren't necessarily already a song.
Yeah.
So,
I wanted to ask about that. Are you in the process of writing any songs right now, or like some original music, or what are you guys kind of doing on that end?
Well, we just keep writing. You know, we've been writing before the America's Got Talent thing. We had tried writing some songs.
Yeah.
And I mean, during the America's Got Talent show, I mean, we were really inspired. So we kept on writing more and more and more and more. So we have tons of songs. Nice. You know, we started doing some great songwriting with other artists. Really good friend of mine and one of my actual vocal coaches, his name is Mark Rank. I brought him in to kind of help and, you know, like do some songwriting with us. And he brings a really solid foundation into like the Beatles style of music, you know?
Oh yeah.
Really good depth, you know, in-depth lyrics. And anyway, so it's a really good team. We're doing a song with a couple other people right now. We have some great stuff that we hope makes it onto an album. You know, so
that's cool, man. Well, I'm looking forward to hearing it for sure. That's gonna be awesome once that stuff starts coming out. I'm looking forward to that.
Thanks, man.
So I definitely wanted to bring this picture up. I know it is Kodi and his mom, but I want to know where you were when this moment happened. When the show aired, and I want to know what were you going through, knowing that you were part of this journey with them, and did you cry? Did you cry? Because I cried. I cried.
Okay, so that picture, there's a really sad story about that picture.
Let's hear
so it. That was his golden buzzer moment.
Yep.
Right. and unfortunately, I couldn't make it to that
Show.
to that show. Um,
Oh,
it was supposed it was supposed to start at 4 o'clock, like that evening, and we're like an hour and a half away from LA, 3 hours with traffic.
yep.
So that day, I was closing on a house, and
Okay.
I had to sign all these papers, and I'm like, okay, we'll just sign it. I'll get up there by 4. All this traffic happened. There was bad accidents. I started to go, had to turn around. I wasn't going to make it. And then it turns out he ended up doing the audition at like 10 o'clock at night. Totally could have made it.
So you're like, I could have made it. Oh.
I could have made it. But I was at every other one
That's cool.
that he was at. And
Every single one, he killed it, man. It was crazy. Just, ugh.
he has an amazing talent, and just watching him work with the songs that he performed, it wasn't just me back there. It was just, I was there with him, but he was working with the other voice coaches and arrangers from America's Got Talent, and DQ and Scott and just a bunch of other really talented music producers and from the show. And every show he did, I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, because we prepared a song.
Yeah.
Not just but like our team prepared the songs with him, and he would do really, really well.
Yeah.
And then he would go on the show and just kill it. Like, we're like, what the hell, dude?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, he would go up a couple notches.
Yes.
That's awesome. To this day, excuse me. To this day, I still rewatch that episode, and it's still just like hits, like ugh. And honestly, my other favorite one was his very final performance too.
Yes.
I was like, man, it's crazy.
Yeah.
But I do feel like you guys have a huge team, and that's why I did kind of want to pull in his, because I think not only did everyone fall in love with Kodi Lee, but they fell in love with like his family. And then me doing my deeper research, I fell in love with like you being his teacher, and like, I don't know, just kind of tell us about like the team behind him with you, his family, and all these other people that are helping with these songs.
So we'll start from left to right.
Okay.
So the younger, good-looking kid on the left, that's Derek. That's his younger brother. Cody's actually the oldest.
Nice.
So Derek, great kid. He's an amazing singer, also.
Yeah, I've seen both the siblings are musicians as well too, right?
Yep. Yeah. His brother's a really good singer. He's getting into acting as well.
Nice.
And
that's what I do. So maybe I'll have to touch base with them. Sorry, your mic cut out for a second.
So that's Derek. Next.
Okay.
So that's Derek.
Okay.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. Next to Derek is his sister Kayla, and Kayla's great too. Kayla's an amazing singer also, but she's actually going to school. She wants to be a doctor.
Wow.
So the cool thing was, it's actually really, really interesting, because when Kodi won, he got the show 6 shows in Vegas.
Yeah.
And huge shows, awesome stuff. And the director of that show was like, why don't we have Derek and Kayla do 2 or 3 songs with Kodi?
Nice.
And they were like, what? And I was like, really? Okay. Like, because we knew they could do it, but they had never really been on a stage like that before.
Yeah.
So it was awesome to watch them actually do that as we called it the Lee Trio, right? And they killed it. They like knocked it.
Awesome.
They're all naturals.
Yeah, it was 6 nights at the Paris, right? Isn't that where it was?
Paris, yep.
6 nights at Paris. That's pretty awesome.
And then his mom, Tina. Tina's awesome too. Self-admittedly doesn't have a musical stitch in her body.
So she's like me then in that aspect.
has no idea where they all get it, but
the other families are beautiful musicians like in mine, and then I got nothing. So I can relate on that, Tina. No worries.
Right on. So Tina's great. Tina, when I travel with them, Tina's had to basically teach me how to take care of Kodi.
Yeah.
Because Tina's pretty much by his side like 100% of the time. 99.8% of the time, she has to be there with Kodi. So she's a trooper. She takes care of him like nobody else, except for his dad, and his siblings. But Tina's always with him. Gabrielle Union, of course.
Oh yeah.
Cody's golden buzzer. Cody's golden buzzer. Boom.
Yep. She pressed the button.
She pressed the button. Gabrielle's awesome.
Everything she said was perfect too, in that whole thing. It was just like the build up, everything, and then
boom, dude. Yeah. I was like, this is perfect.
Yeah, that was the thing. It was all perfect. It was like surreal almost. It was like, is this happening? Like, oh my goodness.
It was awesome. So that's Gabrielle. Obviously super successful. And then Cody's dad, Eric. Eric is awesome. Eric's a great graphic designer. Eric actually creates the artwork for Cody's merch. So
nice. If
you go on to Cody's website and all the shirts and the cups and the posters and everything, Eric designs all that.
Man, that's a solid team right there. You got everyone hitting on all sides and angles.
Super solid. And Eric is actually a really accomplished martial artist as well. His dad actually created Hwarang Do. So if you've ever heard Korean martial art, and Eric and his brother were really really good at it. So
don't mess with that guy then.
Oh, he's got it. But yeah, Eric's awesome too. Great family.
Yeah, so, I had to ask about that team for sure, because just you included in that team, I feel like, is just, you guys are awesome.
Thank you, man. Like, I'm not the only team member. I mean, I'm sure Kodi has. Yeah, Kodi has. I don't know if you have pictures of it, but Kodi has an amazing tap dance teacher, Sarah. I think I pronounced her name right, Sarah Fetke. But Sarah,
I don't have a picture of it, but I did watch. I remember when I was trying to look into it more. I remember there were some videos and some vlogs they were doing, and I remember he did go to his tap dancing school, and I'm sure that was his teacher there.
That was
doing that. Yeah,
so he's got, Sarah's an amazing teacher. He's got an amazing piano teacher, Miss E. Who she's helped him get to Carnegie Hall twice.
Wow.
And she's an amazing piano player, and a great piano teacher. And then, he has, aside from other great teachers, another woman, her name is Miss Noni, who is a vocal coach from town.
You might cut for a second. What was the name?
Sorry. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
okay.
You're good
so,
now.
Okay, Miss Noni is another experienced, great vocal coach from town too, who just helps him craft a lot of a lot of the soul in him. So he's got a really really good team, and probably leaving so many people out. I'm sorry.
No, that's awesome. That's awesome. I love to hear that. No one can really make it in anything they do in life without a team supporting them. So I think you guys got a really solid squad, and much respect to you all, and definitely going to keep watching each one of you individually for sure.
Right on.
Last one here. Last picture we got. Where was this, the Paris performance, or which one was this?
No, that was Tony Robbins' 60th birthday party.
Wow.
That was at the Microsoft Theater in LA. That was a rad event, man. That was really, really cool. We didn't know what to expect on that one. We just knew it was Tony Robbins' birthday, and we were just going to show up and play a song.
Yeah.
And we show up to an 8,000 capacity theater. I was like, what? Oh, all right. Super cool. Tony Robbins is an amazing guy. The actual event, even though it was his birthday, it was a fundraiser to help end human trafficking. And like I didn't know what to expect, and they showed these videos, and it was really, really heartbreaking videos. They were showing the basically there's no easy way to say it, but it was a video of an undercover agent. I don't know if he was with FBI or Homeland Security or CIA. I completely forgot.
Yeah.
But his name was Tim something. I forgot his name. I shouldn't. But his name is Tim something, and he's the inspiration for this movie called, I think it's Underground Railroad. I think.
Okay.
I think. I could be messing that up. But anyway, it's his story of Tim Ballard is his name. Sorry.
Tim Ballard. Okay.
Tim Ballard. And he was there. Story about how he went into these just trafficking situations undercover and broke them up and infiltrated and saved all these kids. And like I said, it was really, really hard to watch because it was all undercover video.
Yeah.
But they, in that room, I believe they raised that night $15 million.
Oh my goodness.
From people in that room.
You show that video and
Dude, oh my God. I mean, there was just massive amounts of generosity and good hearts there.
That's awesome. That's good. He was able to use his birthday, as a platform to do something like that. I respect that a lot. And then everyone there got a performance from you and Kodi Lee, so that's pretty awesome too, I got to say.
Me and Kodi, I was honored to be there. I think Andy Grammer performed, Pitbull performed.
Nice.
It was really good night. A lot of other artists, Julianne, Derek Huff, Julianne Huff, Lindsey Sterling. It was great stuff.
That's awesome. Yeah, I don't know if you saw who my last guest was. It was Higan Machado. He's an 8th degree black belt, and one of his good friends is Ashton Kutcher, and Ashton Kutcher is huge into battling the trafficking and all that stuff. I know he's a huge proponent of it, so that's cool that these celebrities are going out there and using their their fame and power or whatever you want to call it to do good. So I always love to see that stuff.
100%.
Well, man, tell us a little bit about where we can find your stuff. I know we mentioned Spotify was a place. I know you have a website, salspinelli.com. You go ahead and tell us where we can find your stuff.
Cool, man. So so the website it's actually salvatorespinelli.com, and basically, I kind of redesigned it because of the quarantine situation.
Yep.
Where I'm kind of starting to offer some vocal lessons online, and whatever, just trying to see how it's all going to work, see how the platform works. But if you want to go to the website, salvatorespinelli.com, starting to put all these different YouTube videos on there from, I'm putting up 15, 20-minute videos on basic singing techniques and breathing techniques. And you can find my music from there. It's like a launch pad. It's like a hub for my YouTube,
Yep.
My Spotify, Salvatore Spinelli. Just look me up. And I'm starting to record a bunch of music at home because I don't know when I'm going to be able to get back into a studio. So
Yep.
I'm going to be releasing stuff from the house, just I guess as much as I can. So follow me on any of those platforms.
Yeah, my brother talks about using these times to level up. And whatever you're trying to pursue, whatever you're trying to do, just leveling up skills just in any way you can. So that's why you'll see me hitting the bag. That's why you'll see me doing my push-ups, staying in shape, making sure that once this all blows over, that we're ready to all go out there and take things full on and do what we want to do after this is all done.
I saw the videos of you. You're hitting the bag, getting your flow on. I saw that.
Yep.
Watched the video. What was that for? Where the dude did a kick and then you flipped. You got hit in the face and flipped onto it. It was like for a movie. You guys were dressed up.
Yeah. So I do stunts, and a lot of the stuff I do is fight choreography. So that one was for a Rene Perez film called Cabal. It's like an action horror film, and it was starring my good buddy John Azuna.
Right.
And so John Azuna is like super, super talented, world champ, Bokufudo. And now he does a lot of fight choreography in films. And so that move there was he actually takes that guy and throws him. And,
Right.
and that guy can do what's called tricking. And he does those. He can do crazy flips, and he's so talented. It's nuts. And so he did that spin, and then my job was to take that kick, flip over, hit the pads, level the camera so you don't see the pads and stuff. But that fight scene came out really cool. And yeah, that's what I do on my end is acting, stunts, fight choreography. It's fun stuff. Maybe we'll have to get you in on something sometime, man.
Dude, bring me in. Like I'll send you something. I'll send you something like later, like after the thing.
Yeah.
On some random fight stuff.
Oh, I'm down.
Like self choreography.
Let's go. Hey, don't be embarrassed.
Dude, I'm super amateur with it, but I love doing it.
Nah, that's awesome for sure. See, that's why I like you, man. We have a lot of relatable stuff. I'm definitely gonna have to share with you my brother's band Raiju. They're super sick.
Cool.
They're talented. I'll send you a couple of videos of them. And then if we can ever get you in some fight scenes, man, I'm down. I'm sure you can bring some stuff to the table, show us some moves. We can kind of show you how to implement it into a scene or something like that. We'll figure something out. We'll make it happen.
Awesome, man. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, that'd be cool. But yeah, hey, I appreciate your time, man. I'll go ahead and stop the recording here. You don't have to hop off. We can kind of talk offline. But
Cool.
Shout out to everyone. Check out Sal Spinelli. Super talented guy. Can't wait to see what else he come up with, man.
Awesome. Thanks, dude. It was good talking to you.
All right. Later, everyone.